How to build mental toughness so as to study better. And this is for success. Mental toughness is a key component that you require to master if you truly want to succeed in any field. So let's just see how to develop this mental toughness of ours. So the first slide, we are going to be looking forward to why we can't study. The reason why you can't study is not because you have no motivation, but it's because you don't have the mental toughness required to break the barrier of laziness. So that you therefore end up becoming lazy and then procrastinating most of your time before you actually start studying. This is a problem that most of us usually faces, and we need to find the cure. So the main reasons for why you are truly lazy is because you don't have the mental toughness required. You don't have a proper study plan to stick to. So therefore, you think that it's going to be extremely hard before you start studying, and you overestimate the gravity of the work that is about to be done. You overestimate how much work needs to be done. Like, let's say you have to study, so you just think like, oh, there's a lot to study, so I'll just do it tomorrow or something like that. So therefore, you result in procrastination and becoming more and more lazy with time. So what's the cure to all of this? The cure is to develop your mental toughness and find a purpose to strive to. So why should you develop your mental toughness? You should basically develop your mental toughness so as to break the barrier of laziness. You are lazy, you are addicted to comfort and all of those things. But mental toughness, if you're truly tough mentally, then you will be breaking all of these barriers of laziness and you'll reach new heights of potential. And then the second point is to develop a doable study plan. So we are going to be looking forward to these two cures to laziness in the following slides. How to develop your mental toughness. So basically, I have to talk to you guys about my story of this whole thing. So basically, at a point in my life, I got sick. I got quite sick. So I just couldn't move and stuff. And after my sickness, I eventually got more and more lazy with my life. And I just couldn't get out of the comfort zones so as to start doing the work that I needed to do. And I kept procrastinating the work that I had to do. But then I developed a certain technique that I slowly started to adopt to. And then I was able to change my life completely right now. So, the cure or the trick that will do it all for you, which it did for me, is honest confrontation with self. So, let's just see more about this. Honest confrontation with self. Honest confrontation with self is basically confronting your own self with the harsh truth. So whatever the truth is, so let's say that you're unproductive, you're very lazy and stuff. So that is the harsh truth. The thing is, most of the people don't accept this as truth, and we basically just ignore these things. And that is not going to change you in any way as well, too. You're going to always be remaining as a lazy and unproductive person. So basically, honest confrontation with yourself, you will be talking to yourself of the harsh truth that there is. So the best way to honestly confront with yourself, the best way is by talking to yourself in front of your mirror. You should go in front of your mirror and you should honestly confront with yourself. I'll be talking more about this in the following slides, but yeah, this is the idea. So David Goggins, the toughest man on the planet. You can even search up in Google to confirm this fact. And yeah, David Goggins, he used this technique and he calls the mirror, which actually changed his life in a way, as the accountability mirror. So, how to basically honestly confront with yourself? How to do it? So, we're going to be looking forward to how to basically honestly confront with yourself, how to talk to yourself of the harsh truth that there is, the harsh reality. So while you're doing this thing in front of the mirror or whatever there is, let's say you're writing something or something like whatever way you're doing it, let's say. So here you cannot go soft on yourself. You should be fully truthful to yourself. This self-talk is not for comforting your feelings or anything. It's not for giving yourself a sense of comfort or anything like that. So let's say you're truly lazy, but and you cannot tell to yourself that I'm very productive and I'm going to achieve great things in life. No, that is not the truth. You cannot go soft on yourself, and it's because this self-talk is not for comforting your feelings or anything. During this self-talk session, you have to be completely frank or straightforward. You have to tell yourself what position you truly are in life right now and the problems you are facing due to your habits. Like, you should be fully true with yourself. You cannot lie even a single bit. So we'll be going through an example. So for example, if you're lazy and unproductive, then you should go in front of the mirror and tell yourself out loud that I am very lazy and unproductive. The habits I practice and pursue are extremely detrimental and I'm a huge failure in my life. But I seek change. So this is the way you can do the honest confrontation with yourself. The first point is to go in front of the mirror and then be fully frank with yourself, be fully straightforward with everything. So what this basically does, why do you have to do it, and what this basically does? So we are going to be looking forward to this in a psychological point of view, POV. Okay, so the step one towards any form of change is to tell yourself the truth and accept it. You have to tell yourself what the absolute truth is, and you have to accept the fact. Don't worry, we're going to be looking forward to an example as well. So the change can vary from quitting an addiction or starting a new habit. For example, an addict of some substance. So let's say a person is addicted to something. So that person can only get rid of his addiction if he tells himself and accepts the truth that he is an addict first of all. He has to accept the fact that he's an addict. So let's say there's a chocolate addict and he's seeking for change. Then he has to go in front of the accountability mirror and he has to say to himself that yes, he is an addict and he has to accept the fact that he's an addict. Okay. So what this basically does is that it it makes you more prone towards change, like for the in like how I told in the first point, the step one towards any form of change is to tell yourself the truth and accept it. So, yeah, and while doing this you have to remember that this surely will be extremely discomforting and hard and you will hate this session. You won't feel like doing it at all, but it takes discomfort and sacrifice to adopt the new habits. Once you take all the effort to do so, you get rewarded with what's called true freedom. You have to remember this final point. Now, coming back to the cure, we have now looked forward to how to develop a certain state of mental toughness. We haven't actually looked forward to how to develop the mental toughness, but the beginning steps. I'll be coming forward with more and more videos on this in the future, so don't worry. And now the second cure is to find a purpose to strive to. So we are going to be looking forward to that, and then we'll be looking forward to how to develop a doable study plan. So talking about purpose, the first and the most important thing after you go and face yourself in the accountability mirror is to find your purpose. You have to find your purpose, or you will never be able to commit to anything and do anything at all. So it's the ultimate requirement. If you want to score higher marks in exams, then you have to make that your purpose to strive for and achieve. Yeah. But it shouldn't just be told with yourself like this. Like, you shouldn't just talk to yourself in your mind, like, yeah, this is my purpose. I want to achieve higher grades in life. No, this is not the proper way it should be done. Okay. This just makes your purpose a weak one to strive for, and you are never really going to be struggling to achieve it. So the true way to actually find your purpose and stick to it, that's the most important thing. Find your purpose and then stick to it. So the actual way is by writing your goals down, like literally on paper. You have to sit and write your goals down. And after you do it, if you want, you can actually stick this paper on your wall or something, which you can probably refer to every single day, that you will be seeing every single day. This step is not important that much for many of the people, but if you truly want to actually stick to your purpose, then you have to do this step as well. So what's the first way? Write your purpose down in your paper, write your goals and everything down in a paper, and then stick that on your wall or wherever you will see it every single day. So that is how important your purpose should be to you. And then after you do all of this, don't just stop yet. The next step is to face yourself in the mirror again, and you have to talk about your purpose this time. Like the why do you want higher grades in your life and all of those things. if let's say your purpose is become a footballer, a professional footballer, then you have to go in front of the accountability mirror and you have to talk to yourself about the why and everything. It is important, and if you want to know more about this, just let me know in the comments below, because there's a whole new part to finding your purpose and then striving for it. So now we just look forward to the cure of finding a purpose, the second cure. And now the final cure is a doable study plan, to develop a doable study plan. So the next step after finding your purpose in the studies manner is to adopt to a study plan. A doable study plan is a study plan that you can actually stick to. Like, only if there's a study plan that you can actually stick to, you will actually be trying to stick to it, right? So let's say you can actually study in the evening. So only then would you be actually trying to study in the evening. But if you created a complex plan, let's say you have to study 12 hours a day, then you're never really going to be studying to it. I mean, sticking to it. So you have to develop a doable study plan. That's the important thing. So now that you have found your purpose, your goal now is to complete the syllabus, or your purpose would remain unfulfilled. So let's say that you want to achieve higher grades in life. You can never get to higher grades in life unless you complete the syllabus by yourself, right? So this is not a study plan which involves timings like 10:30 a.m. to 1:15 p.m. I'm going to study or something like that. This is a study plan that does not involve anything like this. Why? Because these types of plans and timetables never work for anyone. Yeah, so that's the thing. And the best study plan, therefore, is to basically forget about timetables and plans at all. Just stick to how much you have to complete and consistently complete portions one by one, taking your own time. Okay, that's the thing. We're going to be looking forward more on this. Don't worry. How to figure out your study plan. So, the best way to figure out your plan and what you have to do is by doing the following. Okay, just these first, second, and third points. First thing is to count up all of your remaining chapters and portions to complete in your syllabus of each chapter and everything. You have to count it all up. Let's say if you have a lot of portions in English, maths, science, and social to complete, then you have to count all of these chapters from these four subjects and you have to keep it in your mind. Now, the next step is to divide it by the number of days that is left before your main exam. So let's say your main exam is in 3 months. So you have to divide it by the number of days before your main exam. That is going to be 3 months. It's probably going to be 90 days. So let's say you have 90 chapters to complete and you have 90 days left before your main exam. So once you divide 90 by 90, you'll get a certain number. That is 1. And we'll go to the third point now. You'll now get a number, a decimal or whatever in most cases. In my case, it was a decimal. So yeah, this number tells you how much stuff you have to complete per chapter per day. So let's say, let's go to our previous example, 90 divided by 90, I get 1 as a number. So this basically tells me that I should complete one chapter in one day so as to complete my syllabus before the exams. So that's the thing. So let's say you divided two numbers and you got the number as 0.5. This means that you'll now have to complete half a subject chapter per day to fully complete the syllabus by the end of the time. Like, for one day, you have to complete half a chapter. That's the thing. So this is how you can figure out your study plan. You don't need any timetables or anything. That is absolutely rubbish. Just forget about it. Just do what I said and then just try to study every single day consistently. Don't worry, I'll bring out some time management strategies on how to properly study more and stuff. How to develop your mindset so that you can actually get to studying more and more amount of time and all of those things in the future videos. Just don't worry and just stick to this channel. I'm going to bring out all of those videos in the next set of days. So another important thing that you have to remember as you make your plan is that you, while counting up all of the things, dividing and all of those things, you have to exclude the month that is before your main exam. Why? This is because you will have to use that 1 month before the main exam for revision purposes and doubt clarifications. So, like 1 month before the exam, you cannot study anything in that month. You would have to complete the syllabus before that month comes, and during the whole month, you have to pick out each chapter, each subject, and then revise it one by one. So when you're counting up the days for the math calculation mentioned in the previous slide, ignore 30 days from it. Exclude a month. That is a 30 days. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope nothing but the best of luck for you all. And a lot of new videos are going to be coming starting from now onwards. Just stick to the channel. If you like this video, then it's good for you. I hope I was able to provide you with some value or new information or something. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.